Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing all right. We are here to talk about Christmas-themed Ruskins. Chat, feel free to say hello to YouTube. Right then, so what are we here to talk about today? Well, as you can see, it's the 3rd of December. It's still technically early December. And basically, over the past few days, I've been curious into trying to figure out, is it probably a good time to sell now all of my, Christmas-themed Ruskins? And in this video, we'll probably have an answer for you. So let's just kind of get all the context out. Let's explain everything that's basically been happening. Because you're going to notice that I made a bit of a mistake, and if you're watching this in the future, you have to take note of this, all right? So prepare yourselves, we're jumping in. So a few days ago, I hopped onto Twitter and I made a post questioning people. Do you reckon it's probably a good time to consider selling your Christmas-themed Ruskins in early December, quite literally the very beginning of the Christmas month? Or should we maybe wait it out, at least maybe for another 2 or so weeks, when the Twitch Rivals event is taking place, which is happening this year in 2023, between December 11th to the 15th, we have Twitch Rivals taking place. And then it's expected on December 14th, we're going to have the actual Christmas in-game content being added with the first Christmas Rustor. So you can understand why I was curious about that. And, well, I thought to myself, well, you know what? I got a lot of Christmas-themed Ruskins, and I have a lot. I don't mean to flex, but I do have a lot. And I have to sell. So I thought, all right then, why don't I just dip my toe in the water, test things out, see if sales are actually going to happen? Well, I started that off from the likes of November 30 of this year, and a few days in, yes, I have been seeing sales. But just because I have sales, does it necessarily mean I'm getting the absolute best profits? This is where we have to question things. So yes, I am seeing sales, and if you could look at this properly, you can see people actually buying pairs of Christmas gang hoodie and pants. People who actively want to use these are actively buying them. So we can see evidence of that. That's nice, that's cool. But are these the absolute best prices I could have had? This is where we're going to start making some comparisons to last year, and you might realise something that maybe we should have waited a little bit longer. So let's now jump in. First things first, I should point out that if you make a lot of sales at the moment, you are expected to get a lot of pending, okay? You're going to get a lot of pending. These prices keep fluctuating because demand is slowly increasing and whatnot, and of course with more sales, you get the idea. A lot of the sales initially for your accounts are going to end up in pending, and it's not fun and it's very annoying, but it might not be so bad later on when your account's almost at max wallet. I'll talk more about that a little bit more. If I quickly go over to here, so if I go to this account over here, I do believe we have another account. Yeah, pending like that. Do you see that? Let me just zoom in. So this was a more recent sale. You're going to get a lot of this. It's awkward, it's annoying, but eventually you will get your money and things will improve. So much like last year, I could just quickly show you this. I actually started selling last year towards the end of November. I was making my first few sales, and then gradually as time was going on, I could see quite a lot of money rolling in. Very nice, very cool. December last year for 2022 was very, very good. Well, I'm basically following the footsteps of what I did last year with a brand new diary. As you can see here, I am now in this position where I've made some sales and I've got my accounts up to a price or a position where they're not really going to struggle that much. Basically, for this example here, that was really low. I was a bit worried. I've basically gained $100+ on it. Things are better, all right? Any random weird buy orders that might happen, it won't be a problem. So that's the account right there. Very nice, very cool. But like I said, whilst I've made sales, is it necessarily good sales? Are the profits good to me? Well, let's now take a look at the likes of the Neon Snowflake Garage Door. This was the skin I highlighted when I showed off that tweet, and we can quickly go back to it and make a quick comparison. Why is this? Well, as you can see there, this was selling for $3.42, didn't have that much resistance, there was only 40 of them on the Steam market. Let's now quickly go back over to here. It's now got 72 quantity on the Steam market, but it's now up to $3.85. And if we go look at its sales history, you can see it's been trending up ever so nicely. Let's look at lifetime. So yeah, demand is clearly increasing, things are improving, but is this necessarily still the best time to sell? Well, we're going to get to it right now. So, as you can see here, quantity is still thin. There's not much resistance. if there were to be a very nice surge in demand, this could easily get bought out. It could easily potentially rise all the way up to $5. And this is where I'm noticing some bigger quantities. So whilst we've increased in terms of quantity compared to when I put that tweet out about 5 or so days ago, you can clearly see it's not really appearing in the lower prices here, but higher up. And why have people done that? Well, this is where I have to make a point of last year. Last year, during December, we actually had the force wipe for the very beginning of December. Why is this such a big fuss, Hedge? Why are you making so much emphasis on this? Well, you see, when you look at this year, it's basically the complete opposite. It's like the longest possible time to have a force wipe. So we got this awkward period of time here until it gets to Thursday, where we're very likely going to start seeing the surge in people returning to play the game. Typically, with every single month, the vast majority of people, at least the peak player counts, will happen during when Force Wipe is happening. People like a clean slate, that's when everybody's going to want to jump in. And very likely, we'll probably also see a lot of people jump in for the 14th when the actual Christmas in-game content is also added. So this right here is a very important date. And can you kind of understand now why it's probably a good reason why the prices of the skins haven't really budged that much? I will show you some comparisons now. Here's the Snowman. Now, by default, this has a problem with the fact that it has very fat quantities being listed. Very awkward, very unfortunate. Let's go look at its past. Because unlike the Snowflake, Neon Snowflake Garage Door, this has been around for a few years. Neon Snowflake Garage Door has only been around for technically this year. It was a skin that came out quite literally last year for Christmas 2022. This has slowly been descending downwards. It keeps being brought back. This isn't a skin, this is an item. And with the likes of what we have here, the added trouble of big fat quantities, well, yeah. Now, maybe people are doing this because they haven't really noticed that there's that much demand. If we look at the past 24 hours of sales, we can see that 72 have sold. That sounds nice, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's people selling to the highest buy orders because they're a little bit worried that they're not going to be able to sell them for that much higher of a price. Okay, so now that you got that in your head, you can kind of understand where things are going a little bit awkward. But, as I was alluding to, I can't help but think once we actually reach the likes of the Force Wipe, and let me tell you, there's a lot of very strange content that we're expecting to see, because not only are we going to have a Force Wipe, it's also going to be Rust's 10th anniversary. And we've been seeing all the strange things being alluded to, mentioned. There's a lot of very, very curious things that will be appearing, and a lot of people very likely will be wanting to jump in and play the game when this happens. Also, need I remind you, with the Twitch drops that we're getting for Twitch Rivals, a lot of people will be seeing competitive play. It's a big event, so watching the Twitch Rivals event very likely will be reinvigorating people to want to jump in and play the game all over again. Very nice, very cool. And need I remind you, Rust consistently was in the top 5 for most played games. Over the course of the autumn-fall season, it's dipped out pretty bad. And the player counts haven't exactly been very good. We've made a big fuss about this, haven't we? But hopefully, much like last year, as we can see here, low player counts here, but a nice increase, as you can see right here, that happened last year. Hopefully we see the exact same thing. But, like I said, with December 2022, the Force Wipe was quite literally on the 1st of December. This year, it's the latest possible Force Wipe. So back over to here once more. Snowman, not looking very good. People seem to be kind of jumping out, they're trying to evade this, but I get the feeling they're jumping out too early. So let's now go take a look at the likes of the Snowman Hammer. This is doing pretty good, and right now, currently at $3.70-ish. I scroll down, look at the sales history, and as you can see, it's been pretty weird. It's been around for a very long time, but it's been very stable. It hasn't necessarily gone super crazy, but the demand is there. The demand is there. It's gone down a fair bit, but the sales aren't exactly super crazy either. So that is a very good indicator that we just haven't really got the people really grabbing it at the moment. All right? So whilst the price seems stable and good, the demand simply isn't there just yet. So at the moment, from what we can see here, if we're not really seeing that much demand, perhaps maybe now, at the current time, isn't a good time to sell. Do you see where I'm alluding to the point of we might have to wait at least a week or so in regards to when it's actually Force Wipe to consider selling our Christmas theme skins and items, of course. Now, if you're someone like me who has an absurd amount of stuff, and again, I don't mean to brag, but like I've made quite a point about this, and I do have a lot of Christmas themed stuff, I kind of need to sell. Now, like I said before, I'm not selling in huge batches. I'm selling in batches of up to 5. In most cases, only 3. So I'm trying to make some sales happen. If I could just scroll up to here. But I'm not listing absurd amounts. So as you can see, I'm competing with myself here. Sorry about that. Well, there you go. You got to be smarter. Sorry about that. Okay, so I realise I'm doing it here as well. You got to be smarter than me. Yeah, things like this can happen. I'm afraid. I'm doing it here. I am terrible at this. No wonder I haven't been making that much profit. I'm competing with myself and causing my own problems. Be aware of what you're doing. Better than me, at least. But yeah, I'm not really wanting to list that much, he says. But again, even I can stumble and even I can make mistakes. The better you keep track of yourself, the better the likes of these skins will, flow with the demand and rise in price and whatnot. Cool, I might be one of the people behind the problem. Oh no. But yeah, as you can imagine, like I was trying to point out, I do have quite a lot. And that's not just like all the Christmas things. I've also got like the snow stuff, 107 of these, 147 snow machines. Yeah, 106 of these. Well, I mean, that's good. That was a nice profit. Anyway, back over to here. What else do we have? Snow machine. We just saw that. Well, this has reached just under $4. As you can see, the quantities are a bit fat. If we scroll down over to here, it hasn't really budged that much. 24 have sold, which is not much, to be honest. 1 an hour? That's not good at all. And yeah, it's just not really going anywhere. There's no demand. Not currently, at the very least. So, do you feel like we've kind of reached a point now where it's kind of obvious that last year was special and we referenced it too much? Because, of course, at the very, very, very beginning of the month, we got that force wipe. So the demand was instant. But we're not seeing it this year because force wipe hasn't happened. Force wipe was the main influence, the main drive in regards to what brought a lot of people jumping in and what caused a lot of people to instantly want to buy things. Christmas-themed Ruskins, to be precise, and, of course, items. Do you feel like we've reached the moral of the story now? So now I'll quickly hop over to here again. I just wanted to show off some other skins. Right now, you can see this Christmas furnace. It's reached $5. Last year, how high did it go? Because this has been around for years. So yeah, that was even higher before. But that took until the second week of December. So even with things like last year, it took until the likes of the actual Christmas Rust store to appear, maybe, or the actual Christmas in-game content, for the likes of some of these skins to have reached their peak. So also consider this. With the likes of what I've already mentioned, the Twitch Rivals event taking place, and of course maybe the stuff like the other Twitch drops such as Twitchmas, which, if you aren't fully aware of all of these, please consider watching this video over here, with the very cool mask, Rust Christmas Expectations, if you want to learn more about that, because basically there's a lot of content coming out for people to chase after, and I wouldn't be surprised if people might want to actually go in the game and use it and whatnot. So everything is alluding to the idea of when Force Wipe comes out, that's where we'll see the changes, that's where we'll notice the nice increase in player count, much like what we saw throughout all of December 2022. So yeah, very nice, very cool. But, I've gone too far ahead it seems. So yeah, again, maybe it might not look very good at the moment, but don't give up. Some people have, I've noticed it. Wait until at the very least the Force Wipe. You'll very likely see more people jumping in, actually doing some late Christmas shopping. But with that, there will be actual genuine demand. We will see prices rise up. And then, of course, potentially we'll see some prices peaking when the actual first Christmas Rust store appears with the actual Christmas in-game content. And, do I need to remind you about the likes of Gingerbread Building Skin that's expected to appear this year, which will be given away, not given to you, but it'll be available to everybody for free during the Christmas period of time in Rust. Basically up until January Force Wipe, I'm led to believe. So December 14th, potentially. Remember, Halloween this year appeared on a Monday. The actual in-game content appeared on a Monday. That was later than the first Halloween Rust store. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it comes out December 14th, but it might come out a bit later. Potentially, that would mean December 18th. So whilst we theoretically can think of things happening, it might not happen immediately. So we just got that all nice and pointed out to you. So yeah, back over to here, I had the likes of Festive Garlands. Yes, this is currently $14, which, at the end of the day, that's still a very good price for what it sells for in the Rust store. You do need to sell these before the first Christmas Rust store. You do need to sell these before December 14. Last year, during the first week or so, it surged in demand. Look at that. Whoa. But of course, it crashed all the way down because in the Rust store, this sold for a set price of $3.49, which was awkward because literally at this point here, it's selling out $20+. Anyway, that all basically happened here. Can you see that? At the very beginning, when the force wipe happened. And then it reached an all-time high price of just about or just over $20. And then it went all the way down. Very cool. Very cool. Maybe, just maybe, we have to wait until the likes of a force wipe to appear to see that massive surge in price again. But at the end of the day, it's already at a high price. Maybe it won't move that much. But the quantities aren't ridiculous. But there is quite a lot of listings. If you look at all of it, 174 is quite a lot. On average, every Ruskin item on the Steam market has around 100 quantity. To have more than that means there's more than average, and that means it's probably going to be a bit harder for it to rise up in price with more listings. That's not too hard to understand. There's more to climb up. It's a bit awkward. So with the likes of a nice surge in demand, that could all be chipped away. So over to the likes of here again, whilst this looks to be at a pretty decent price, with only so much layered up in regards to the prices, I mean, this could easily rise up even further. So you do have to question now, what should I do? Do I want to sell now? You might be one of those people who, like me, has a lot of stuff. I've had to consider selling some things now because I need to sell a certain amount within this month. Because once we're past this month, who's going to want to buy Christmas skins in January or February or March? And, well, there you go. Yeah, now you understand. So it is awkward. It is awkward. But the more you invest into this, the harder it is. Okay? This is why I always say, only buy into it as much that you know you can sell. All right? A lot of people aren't as crazy as me. I'm not flexing, but like, I have to keep looking at the Steam market. I'm going crazy. Look at me. So anyway, moving on. Things can improve and are expected to improve, but you do have issues with the likes of Christmas Gang hoodie and pants. These always have these weird issues. Loads of people like to list a bunch of these on the Steam market. Almost 200 quantity. What did I literally just say to you? On average, every Ruskin on the Steam market has about 100 quantity. This has almost double that. So there's a lot of listings. There's resistance. This isn't going to have an easy time rising up in price because it has to get through all of this. And then only then does it go up by 10 cents in price. So if you happen to be any of these people, it might be smarter to remove these, wait a few days at least until the likes of the force wipe, then list them again. Because by then you'd see probably a significant chunk of this disappear. I mean, again, there's another wall here. Awkward. But you should probably understand by that. You should probably understand that it will rise up in price a lot more easier. And to be smart with this, only list up to about 3 to 5 quantity. And be much more smarter than me and actually keep check and notice you haven't accidentally already listed the same thing already. Again, I'm very sorry about that, but even I make mistakes, right? Even I make mistakes. So, I'm only human, sort of. And then, yeah, pants are basically the same. Not as bad, but still there. And, yeah, once you're past about 40 sales, it's only gone up by 10 cents. So you can clearly see the issues there. Cool. And then lastly, here's the Christmas Tree Garage Store. $4.50 last year. How high did it get up to? Well, went up all the way up to about maybe $5.50, $6. We're on course to reach up to that point. But what do you see here? Well, like I said many times, I invested into my Christmas skins as early as March of 2023. I know that the vast majority of skins reach a low point usually around March, April time. But more specifically, especially with likes of Christmas, brand new Christmas skins and older ones. So I looked into the past, noticed the low points that we could see in the past, and then I thought, you know what? I'll put down this price. We'll see what happens. I bought a whole bunch. Right now, even at this current time, I can sell these for almost double the price I bought them for. So that's long-term strategy, and, that's why I can sell now. But I don't really want to sell now because I want to make sure I get the maximum optimal profit. Not too hard to understand that, but I have a lot of these, so I kind of had to sell some. Now, again, if we quickly hop over to here, if you're like me, who had some very low funds on certain accounts and you're getting worried based on the buy orders that you have on those accounts and whatnot, I don't blame you. I made sure all of my accounts got to a point where it's not going to be too much of a problem now. But do I desperately need to sell as much anymore? Not really. So maybe it's smarter that I just wait another few days, see how things play out, hopefully see that the likes of the demand will be there with a lot more people playing the game. And then, of course, Christmas skins will be doing a whole lot better in terms of their prices. That means a much better time to sell your skins. That's the moral of this story. Unfortunately, I didn't keep track of this properly. I failed to realise the reason why December started off ever so nicely last year was because the Force Wipe came out literally for the 1st of December. But for this year, it's not happening until the 7th. There's a lot more days to wait. Awkward, I know, but I've learned a lesson, and hopefully you have too, right? So next year is going to be basically the same, but it's going to be probably the 6th. I mean, we have the 2024 calendar here, don't we? Oh, yeah, there you go. So what's going to be next year? All right, so it's going to be the 5th. Ah, that's not as bad, but it's still a bit later, isn't it? So, yeah, cool. So always keep track of when the actual Force Wipe happens. Sounds good? Right then, so best of luck to all of you and your investments. Let's just go hop over to here. Has this changed? Nope. Unfortunate, but maybe by time it's Thursday, that's where we start to see all the Christmas theme skins lining up. Because I have seen one or two appear. That's where my first original tweet was mentioning. So if I go back over to here and click the likes of this, I was seeing the likes of this appear and some other Christmas skins every other hour. But I'm expecting to see at least several Christmas skins on the front page very frequently once that Force Wipe has appeared. Sounds good? So if you don't have that many skins, it is smarter for you to wait it out a bit longer. If you have quite a lot of skins like I do, maybe you do need to make a few sales here and there. Understood. I don't blame you. Just don't list a ton of them. Small batches it will help it out in terms of not really affect the price. And that's it. We're all done. Chat. Did you enjoy that long talk? I hope it wasn't that long, but I had to make sure it was nice and insightful. I had to make sure that you understood basically everything. And pretty much over the course of the rest of this month, I will be filling up this playlist. So if I go to here and click playlist, you'll see that I have my Rust Christmas investing playlist for 2023, and I'm slowly filling it up now. So I've already made some points throughout all of this year, and yeah, I will probably be uploading a video maybe every 3 or so days, keeping track of how everything is. Very specifically, I'm going to need to make a video on Friday to talk about whether we actually saw a reaction, a big reaction in regards to, okay, yeah, it's been Force Wipe. I'm noticing a lot of people wanting to buy Christmas skins now. That proved to be a good point. So that's what Friday will be for. So that'll happen over the course of the next few days. Sounds good. So hopefully this month will be very good. Hopefully we make a ton of profits. Technically speaking, I've already made a bunch of profit, but that's because I invested earlier, all right? So we'll probably have to bring this up again at some point towards the end of December, early January. But yeah, you'll learn about long-term investing. We'll get through all of that, and everything will be nice. And so thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And yeah, don't forget, on the 7th of December, where are we? I think I've gone the wrong place. There it is, yeah. Support a streamer will be taking place. And I made a big mistake. I thought it was a select batch of streamers. No, everybody who is a partner and affiliate. So as long as they are streaming Rust on Twitch and you donate 2 gift subs onto their account, basically you go to their stream and you give 2 subs to someone at random or someone specifically, you get the desktop. That is the rule. I made a mistake. I thought it was specific people. If you are very grateful for the constant screaming about pixels I've done throughout all of this year, if you were to come to my stream and donate 2 gifted subs, I'd be very grateful for that. Also, I will probably have to shave off my eyebrows and whatnot. I mean, if you want to. I'm going to have to keep a straight face while I'm bald. I'm going to look like an egg. All right. Rookie numbers. Oh, shut up, you. Anyway, so that's that. We're all good. I hope you enjoy your Christmas. I hope you succeed. I hope these help people in the future as well. So it's wrap. We're all done. Catch